Um, Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and I'm joined with Mark, who together we form the Price Variance,
The
and
price.
we are looking at what? And suddenly comics. It's all about the comics. And we're going to be looking at the hottest Silver Age books for the week. Now, last week we looked at DC books, and I made Mark cry and probably have a bit of trauma. So this week
I've just
we're
about recovered. Just about
just
recovered.
about recovered. Now I got to bring Mark down again because we're going to be doing Marvel. So how did Marvel perform for this last week? So it's all the biggest sales that happened for Marvel for the Silver Age. So it should be interesting. Let's see. What's the first book, Mark?
What is the first book? Let me find. What am I doing? That is not it. What am I doing? That is it here. There we go. First book. It is part of the Galactus trilogy. Uh, Fantastic Four.
And a really nice grade too, 8.0.
Yeah, very nice grade. 8. That's a really good grade. One of my
So
favorite
eight.
sets of comics.
So Fantastic Four number 48 in an 8.0, $4,560. And it's the first appearance of both Silver Surfer and Galactus. It's considered to be a cameo of Galactus, but he's on the last 3 pages, so I consider it a full appearance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and he's on the front cover, like I mean the name. So yeah, just a great book. So yeah, how did it perform?
Yeah, historically, this has always been more expensive than 49. I
Mhm.
actually prefer the cover of 49.
Me too. Me too. It is a classic cover.
That sounds, that sounds low to me, Alan. 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, for such a high grade.
Yeah.
So,
So let's have a look. There it is. What grade was it? 8.5.
8.0, 8.0.
You know. Right. Oh, it's not too bad.
Okay, so this is the,
Ah,
but there is the COVID bump. We got a COVID bump.
there is the COVID bump on this. The
What was the top price?
top price was 10,761.
Wow.
Paid 10,000 for this.
So it's almost 60% off that.
Well, yes, you'd feel a bit sorry if somebody had paid £10,000. I mean, that was right. That was peak.
Right at the peak.
Yeah. Mind you, people were still paying 7 or 8,000 for this
Up till
just a year
recently.
ago. Yeah.
But it looks like it's back on the trend line, if
It,
anything.
it
And maybe even a bit above the trend line.
depends when you count the trend from. If you
Yeah, if you go
count
back all the way back to
the
whatever.
trend from there, and I'd probably say yes. Yeah, I think it's back on trend. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so not too bad.
And it's not bad compared to the previous sale.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be nicer in the future when we do these videos and we're a little bit away from that COVID bump. Like right now, we're at the tail end of the COVID bump, so it's like very painful. Um, but yeah, this one, I think it's good to see it kind of getting back to a reasonable number. But would you pick this book up at this price?
I mean, I've got one of these. Yes, I think I probably would. I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't pick one up here. Uh, yeah, I think so. I think, if you look here, I'd say this is the base, three and a half to 4,000.
And I think it's come up a bit
It
even
has come
from
up a
where it
bit.
hit the
So
bottom. It
yeah,
hit the bottom and then it's come back a
I
bit.
would pick this up if I was looking for one between 4 and 4,500. I think you're okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. So yeah, just a interesting one. It looks like it had two bumps. Actually, it looks like there was another kind of like earlier, like kind of
Now, was
uh
this Well, this has been rumors about Fantastic Four coming into the MC.
That would be my guess. There
There's
was
still,
probably that
I
was
mean, we're
around the
still on
Fantastic
that,
Four
you know,
movie.
so we're still on this bump.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we are probably going to get Fantastic Four in the next few years.
Yeah, so there was an announcement where Fantastic Four is coming. Whether Galactus is coming with it is debatable, but I think Silver Surfer is
Yeah, yeah. So
maybe
I
coming
think
soon.
this bump
If they're
here
near you.
is still active. This is the COVID bump, and that's gone away.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Hey,
interesting.
what's the next comic?
The next comic is another classic. This is
Oh,
Daredevil #1. Daredevil in a
what a
yellow
great book.
suit.
For
Uh,
the longest time, this book was underrated, but now
yeah, no, it
I
had a
think during
re-rating.
COVID, it was one of the biggest jumpers.
Yeah, it was. It had significant re-rating.
Yeah, so this is like first appearance of Daredevil, Foggy Nielsen. What's the woman's name again? Betty or
Oh, I can't remember.
I forget the girl's name. But yeah, a bunch of characters made their first appearance in this book.
Karen Page.
Karen Page. Karen Page, yeah. So just a bunch of kind of key characters for
That's a
Daredevil.
nice looking 6-0.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh, okay,
Not sure.
okay.
Oh, it's that corner that's just destroyed. Yeah.
That corner's killed it. Otherwise, this spine looks pretty good.
Yeah, actually looks very solid. It's a shame about the corner.
The gorgeous Karen Page.
Matt Murdock. Yeah. So I mean, Daredevil's coming back, and the guy that originally played
he is.
Murdock is
I like
back.
the guy who plays him as well. Right. So, what grade was it? It was a
6-0?
6-0 for 4.9. 6-0
492. 492. So $4,920.
Down.
Yeah, I would have expected this one to be down. This one, I'm not sure. Whoa. Okay, so you can see that spike, right?
COVID bump here. It's crazy.
It's a huge spike. I mean, that's like almost like a 10x factor on a level of bump.
I mean, this isn't even a trend, is it? This is still
no.
And
so
I think
it's
being held up by the TV series.
Yeah, this one might actually have more room to go down.
Yeah, I think so.
Which is really sad. Such a great book, though. I love this book. Tell you the truth. What was the max price on this one?
9,100.
Wow. Okay. So we would expect this to kind of go down to the 3,000 level, maybe.
I think. Yeah, I'd have said 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
so,
still. I think it can still come down. This one. I think it's being held up by the TV series.
Yeah, there was an announcement about the TV series. So yeah, I think there's a bit of hype still around this book. But yeah, such a shame. we should always mention the census count on these books.
And the census count is 6,167. I mean, one thing you do notice, Alan, is that these Marvel books have much higher census counts than the DC ones we looked at.
Yeah, when we were looking at the DC ones, it was like 1,000. Some were like 200-300. It was like just totally different numbers. But 6,000, that's a really high census count, actually. And I actually know the reason for the reason it has a high census count. When Marvel was kind of coming back, this was one of the later books. This is 64, 65, right?
Yeah, this is 64. Yeah.
64. So if you think about it, Fantastic Four was 62, X-Men 63. So those ones, people were a little bit caught off guard in terms of, we got to catch these books. This one, they kind of knew, okay, it's a #1, got to grab it.
Yeah, they were on a roll. People knew about them. Yeah, so we wanted. Okay, that's a good point. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
So that's why there's a few more of these on the radar here. But still, I love this book. Like, this was one of the when I got this book, I felt like, oh, now I'm true comic
Now you're a
collector.
proper collector.
Um, so yeah, so great book. First appearance of Daredevil.
Very good.
Uh,
Right.
okay,
So,
but still room to drop. Not a time to buy it yet.
right. Oh, I do like this cover actually. This is Hulk
This is
2.
yeah. So this is Hulk, Incredible Hulk #2. It's the first appearance of the Green Hulk, which is the Hulk we know. It's the second appearance of the Hulk in general, but the original Hulk was gray. So this is kind of a big key because it's the Hulk we know. I actually think isn't it the first appearance of the Mole Men or whatever those
Yes,
guys
this is
are?
the first appearance of the Mole
Or
Man.
Toadmen,
Toad Man.
Toadmen. So Toadmen, just major characters that nobody knows.
No,
Um,
they do reappear occasionally.
I heard that. Yeah, I just think it's so funny that you get these like major keys, and it's always like the lamest villains to go with them. So, um, but yeah, the Toadmen. So yeah, I never actually thought that this was that great of a cover.
I like it actually. I like it.
Really?
I love the way the Hulk is coming through, saying nothing except the Hulk. You know, breaking through of steel thing here. I mean, I just like the composition of it. I think I like
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I do like that cover.
Okay.
Right, how's this been doing?
So 7-0, and it sold for what?
7-0. 6-8 did it sell for? Yeah, I think so. Oh, this one's
Not too bad. Not too much of a drop, eh?
no,
Like,
not compared to the last two we looked at.
yeah. So this one probably has more room to drop, though. So yeah. So what was the peak?
This doesn't sell as frequently. What's the census on this? This is going to be much lower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These Hulks really low census counts.
yeah. I mean, we're at there's a 25% compared to the last one we looked at, so much lower census. This grade, it's going to sell
1,200 census. So what you'll notice, and this is something I always tell collectors, if there's a key in the issue #2 or 3, those are going to be bigger keys than issue #1s. Because what always happens whenever they print a #1, they always mass print it, and then they kind of do smaller print runs for the later issues. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
#1 they know is going to be a big seller, and then they kind of cut the printing for the #2.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 35 of these in a 7-0, so you know they don't sell that frequently.
Mm-hmm. But what was the peak price on it?
Peak price August 22 a year ago for 8.6, nearly 8.7. So
And now it's down to 6.
Well, 6.5. Yeah,
6.5. Yeah.
but compared to other stuff we've seen, that's not bad. I think this could fall further.
Yeah, I mean, to get back into the trend line, it would be around 5,000.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy this at 6.6. I think this will come down a bit more.
Yeah, I think around 5,000, maybe 5,500 on a good day.
Yeah,
would be a fair price.
yeah. I mean, we've got nothing Hulk due on our screens, have we?
We actually do. What's the we got the what's it called? The one where it's going to be Harrison Ford.
Oh,
the Red Hulk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I mean that could kind of play into this a bit.
Yeah. Wrong color.
Wrong color. Okay.
What's the fourth one? Oh, it's another fantastic. This is an annual.
Yeah, this is a weird one. This is the first Nihilus.
Now, this was another comic that was undervalued for ages.
Yeah, so first appearance of a Nihilus in a 9/6. And this is Fantastic Four annual number
6.
Yeah. So
I've got a couple of these in raw.
Yeah, I think mine's raw for this as well. Yeah, just a cool book.
And a major villain.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nice comic. This undervalued for ages. 696. How much did it sell? 7.2. That's high. I mean, it is a high grade.
Yeah. But the thing is, usually when you get to that 9.6, 9.8 level, the prices are crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so 7,200 for 9.6. I'd be worried that that's
Ooh,
actually low.
it's low.
What was the
Oh,
oof? There was a cliff that this one jumped off.
somebody bought one of these for $21,000 in May 2022.
Oof,
Over a year ago. Can you imagine it? So in May,
21,000.
just over a year ago, somebody paid $23,000 for this, and it just sold for 7. So goodbye $16,000.
Wow. So it's down to 30, like down to a third of the previous value. Wow. That's painful.
I mean, if you say this is, where's the
But
base?
I'd say it's on the trend line again.
I would say it's on the trend line as well. Yeah,
But that just shows you the power of the COVID bump. I mean, it was a crazy time. Good time to sell. If you're gonna
very good. If somebody whoever sold that for $23,000, running all the way to the bank.
is laughing. Yeah, exactly. How many on the census of this book?
2,784.
So a little bit more rare than some, like typically Marvel books are around that 5,000 mark.
Yeah.
So this is about
This is an annual though,
half
and I'm
that.
not sure how popular annuals were. These Fantastic Four annuals were undervalued for quite a long period of time.
Yeah. I imagine they wouldn't have been collected as much
No,
because they were more expensive. Like they were like, was it 25 cents or how much is it?
they were 25 cents. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of kids wouldn't necessarily buy an annual when they
No,
could buy two comics for the same
exactly.
price.
They'd have probably, if back then you were saving your money up, would you buy an annual or would you buy 2 standard ones? I'd buy 2 standard ones, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
So I'm just surprised how much of a how much this one has dropped. Brutal. Um,
Oh,
okay, and this is the fifth
you're
one.
going for
Okay,
the minor keys this time, Alan. Right.
yeah. Well, as I said, these were the biggest sales just by sheer number,
Yeah.
by the price.
Okay.
So 7,500 for Avengers #1,
Yes.
and a 6.5.
That sounds low.
Yes, it does sound low. Because I remember people buying lower grades for around that price. But yeah, beautiful copy. I mean, this is a really sharp copy. I mean, a little bit of corner issues, but just not really bad. I mean, nothing,
Major.
just beautiful copy.
Got Iron Man in his original suit. Superheroes, supervillains, super thrills presented in the fabulous Marvel manner.
Mm.
Great stuff. Thor, Ant-Man, Hulk, Iron Man, Earth's mightiest superheroes. Don't make them
I
up.
mean, this is a cool book. You get all your favorite characters kind of teaming up. It's just really cool.
Yeah, I bet census counts high on this one. Right.
Oh yeah,
Avengers 1. Oh, we're up to the 5,000s again on the census.
yeah. That's what I would have thought. I mean, that's normal. It's sort of typical. So 5,000, is it
5,000.
5,300?
Yeah.
So yeah,
7.5 for a 6.5. 7.5 for a
75,
6.5.
7,500.
Yeah, down a bit. This is
I
going
mean,
to.
there is an
Oh,
Avengers movie coming.
okay.
Look at that spike. That was
Somebody
crazy.
paid. Hands up if it was you. Somebody paid 17,000. This isn't quite as bad as the last one, but somebody paid 17,000 for this
But
April
but
2020.
I think that was an outlier sale even at the time because you can see it's just like a sharp spike and then sharp down even at the time. Like it was just like
I mean, they've
somebody
only
overpaid.
lost $10,000, which is less than the person on the last one who lost $16,000. So let's hope it wasn't.
Yeah. If you look at the trend line on this book, it's not the greatest. It's kind of like a little bit all over the place. It's like
I would say
kind of like wobbly all the way up.
if you cut it off there, it looks quite a nice little gradual riser.
Yeah, even actually, I'd say it's on the trend line now.
Yeah,
So this is probably right. Like
that's about
it
right.
may, yeah, and it looks like it's come up a little bit even in the last little bit. So probably this one's a safer buy. You know, you don't have to worry about it dropping anymore too much. But yeah, I love this book. A lot of these books, these are all great books so far. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's interesting to see them drop this much. Um, you know, it's definitely a good time to be a buyer, not
Yeah,
a seller. A lot of I've been hearing more and more about people kind of holding back and trying to not sell if they can.
yeah,
But you know, I think there's a lot of desperation selling happening still.
yeah.
Just
People will need the cash. I mean, it depends who you are, but
mhm.
there's a lot of cash tied up, and some people will have cash flow issues and will need to sell.
Mm. So one thing that I didn't mention just before we wrap up this first half of the video is right now going on this same week as I'm looking at these auctions is the Bobby Blue collection.
Oh,
And the
Bobby
Bobby
Blue.
Blue collection is Golden Age and Silver Age books that are huge books like Superman 1, X-Men 1, all the kind of big keys.
Mhm.
And these auctions that we're looking at are actually heritage auctions.
Right.
So what's happening is all the attention's over at Comic Connect, where this big massive collection has come up for sale. So in a way, we're maybe seeing a little extra suffering for these books on Heritage because the attention's been kind of drawn away. So just that's just a little caveat to add to the whole picture. But so far, not too bad, not too bad. Like I'm actually not as sad as you might have been. These books are down, but down from COVID bump, and they look like they're back on trend for the most part. So that's really what I want to see with the market. That the market's not like the sky isn't falling. You can't get that Avengers #1 for $1. So um, it's not that it's not there yet. So yeah, so thanks, Mark. Now, if you're interested in the really big books, these are like the big sales. They're over on Mark's channel. So you got to go over to Mark's channel and watch part 2. The link will be in the description. And thanks, guys, for watching.
Yeah, you don't need a crystal ball to be able to guess which 2 comics will be in the list when we show them on my channel. Okay.
Yeah, I imagine something. I think it's going to be something very amazing, personally.
Or you could be living in Fantasyland. But anyway.
Yeah, we never know.
Okay. Cheers, Alan.
Cheers.